we're going to increase the size of our garden. And what do you mean increase the size of our garden? It's 95 degrees out this evening. You know, we've talked a lot about pruning and trellising. Now these are the 3 tomatoes that we were going to do the experiment with. I was going to take all the suckers off of that one. This is our determinant. It's not going to get any bigger than this. It's just going to bush out. And then our Cherokee that I was going to leave all the suckers on. Well, we're going to let this work to our benefit. We're going to increase the size of our garden. And what do you mean increase the size of our garden? It's 95 degrees out this evening. Yes, but I'm going to show you how you can increase the size of your garden in the deep mulch. First off, you need some kind of container. Now, I'm going to put some water in this coffee can. I'm also going to put some water in this glass. You'll see why in a minute. I got in a lot of trouble last year when I pulled the mulch back and put that thermometer in the soil. Well, it was my wife's candy thermometer. She wasn't too happy with that, so I'm not going to do that experiment again. But it was 25 to 30 degrees cooler in the soil underneath the mulch than the outside air. All of these plants love the sun, even when it's hot, as long as their roots stay good and cool. If you remember the other day, these were looking really floppy. I told you, as soon as they got into a little bit of shade and it cooled off to 95, they'd just perk right back up. So the thicker your mulch is, the better your plants are going to be. Now, even though it's really hot, how are we going to increase the size of our garden? We're going to root some suckers, and we're also going to root some sweet potatoes, and we're going to see what kind of harvest we can get out of both of those. And we've talked a lot about trellising and keeping your tomatoes pruned up. We got a real nice sucker right here. I'm going to clip that off, and we're going to put that in water. I'm also going to take these 2 bottom leaves off. I'm just going to clip those off. This entire stem has bumps on it that will root, and it'll make a clone of this plant. Just put that in the water. We got flowers on here. That's the main part of the tomato. We've got a leaf in the stem, so that's the sucker right there. I'm going to clip that out. That's a pretty big sucker. I'm going to go ahead and take that leaf off. We'll just put that in the water also. And while we're here, since that's branched off a little bit, make sure you trellis it. Let's go see if we can't find one more. Now, Carla went ahead and branched, and we went ahead and tied 2 sides up, but there's now enough suckers. I'm going to take 2 suckers right off of Carla. We're going to get 2 more Carlas. Those tomatoes are coming on. I'm going to get 3, actually. Take those off. Let's get these in the water. So that's going to give us 5 new tomato plants. We're going to check these every day and see the progress of the roots. But look right here. You see the color on that? And this is a Cherokee purple, so it's going to be dark on top anyhow. And I'm going to take that right now. And just look at that. It's clean. There's no bug bites. There's a couple little blemishes where it rubbed a little bit. In 2 days, that's going to be ready to eat on the counter. Now our sweet potato patch, we've got some of these that are growing really well. I'm just going to take them off down here a little ways. Take one there, take one there. And I'm just going to clean these bottom leaves off so it gives it a little bit of something to root with. I'm going to stick that in the glass. And once these root, we'll go ahead and plant them. Then we'll keep an eye on them and we'll compare them to the parent plants. What do you think? 1 or 2 more of these purple ones. And you don't have to be real selective. As long as they're running, go ahead and prune these back a little bit. And those are going to get in the walkway anyhow. And I was going to come out here and the wife will have had to prune them back. So let's go ahead and get these rooted. Now they do have a little sap in them, which is okay. In just a couple days, we ought to have some nice roots started. Let's go take a look at a couple of those orange ones. These were planted a little later, but they're running towards the corn. So I'm going to go ahead and just prune those back a little bit. Get it down in the water. Yes. I know, I've just mixed up my purple and my orange. That's what makes it fun. We're going to increase the size of the garden, and then we're going to have a surprise. Let's go ahead and get these in the greenhouse, and that way they're protected while they're rooting. Kind of the reason I'm doing it now is coming over the 4th of July. These ought to be rooted and then we'll get the rest of the basil in. And by allowing them to go ahead and root in the greenhouse instead of in the house, they're going to be more acclimated to this hot weather, and when we go to plant them, they shouldn't miss a lick and just keep right on growing. And that's our plan, is to get as much harvest out of this garden as we can. And yeah, at this temperature, you are going to sweat a little bit, but that's what makes it fun. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.